Vasquez.
And Your Honor, we did just receive our final piece of discovery, which was the in-talk slip. We do have our final offer, a plea offer from the state. However, I was not here at the last status. We had a leave of absence. So we have not yet had a chance to work on any of the conditions or finalize the details with the prosecutor. So we'd like if it could be put on one final plea calendar or the trial calendar at Your Honor's pleasure. But I expect this to be a negotiated plea once we're done
October 5th at 1:30 p.m.
in person.
in person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And by then, the paperwork at least
Yes.
is all crossed away.
Yes.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Partridge and Miss Githia, do you have that case with Andre Willis on the show cause?
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I was trying to say, it is my understanding that Mr. Willis is in custody and this was going to be a plea in absentia.
Right, Mr. Partridge is here and he would like to allocute some options. Mr. Partridge?
Yeah, I'm happy to do the plea in absentia. I believe the last conversation we had was sort of left in the air as it relates to that, but I'm happy to try to get that done. If the court will give me adequate time. I am on the ongoing RICO trial before Judge Glanville, so maybe a weekend in the next couple of weeks I can try to arrange a visit to Mr. Willis and get that done. But I believe it'll be a credit for time served plea, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me.
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Partridge, I can reset it to October 5th and at 1:30 p.m. And if you get the plea in absentia submitted to Ms. Githia, she can forward it to me. It'll be notarized and so forth, and then you would not need to make a court appearance.
Thank you. I'll work
All
on
right.
that next
Thank
couple
you.
weeks. Thank you, Judge.
So it's just reset to October 5th pending the submission of the plea in absentia.
Yes, Your Honor. Understood.
Thank you.
I have to excuse Judge.
Yes, sir. You good luck in the other trial.
Thank you, Judge. Need it.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
Doesn't feel like it.
Okay.
It's there. Well, have a great one.
Okay, Mr. Childress, you have Mr. James Cochran, sir, if you'd like.
I do, Judge.
Podium. Mr. Cochran? Yes, sir.
Should he join me at the podium?
Podium, please.
Oh,
Yes. All right, this is State versus James Cochran, case number 21 CR 006-521F. Mr. Cochran, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Scott Childress will be representing you. You were originally accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe in possession of an open alcohol container stemming from an April 28th, 2021 incident in Fulton County, Georgia. This is going to be a negotiated plea hearing where the state is going to make a recommendation. And if you, with the assistance of counsel, have reviewed it, have reviewed your waiver of rights and reviewed and had a discussion with your attorney, if you've made a decision to enter such a plea, we will move forward with the hearing. All right. So for purposes of the plea, may I place you under oath?
Would you like me to, Judge?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, what is the plea offer for Mr. Cochran?
For the DUI less safe, it is 12 months to serve 24 hours, credit for time served 24 hours, balance probated, a $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, risk reduction program, alcohol drug evaluation and any required treatment, and 1 victim impact panel. The state is not seeking any restitution. And for possession of open alcohol container, it is a $200 fine.
All right. Mr. Childress, have you discussed this with your client and does he accept these terms?
We do, Judge.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for these charges?
Yes, Judge.
Right. Mr. Cochran, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
No.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
And is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take a plea offer today?
No.
And after discussing with your client, with your attorney, you understand this to be a first-time DUI conviction on your record,
Yes,
all right? And the last.
yes,
Okay. Mr. Cochran, in order for me to accept the plea, you would have to knowingly, willingly, and freely give up your constitutional right to have a trial in this case. You will have to give up your right to confront your accuser, be available in court with your attorney to be able to challenge the evidence and the witnesses who testify against you or the evidence brought against you, to be able to present any defenses or mitigating factors if you choose to do so, to exercise your right to remain silent or waive your right to remain silent and testify on your behalf, and also have the state try to waive your right to have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
yes,
How do you plead to one count of driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and possession of an open alcohol container?
guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. With regards to the DUI charge, your sentence is 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day. That's already been disposed of. So the remainder of the 12 months will be on probation. You will report to the Fulton County Probation Office next Thursday before 3 p.m. The office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. Once you're on probation, you will have 12 months to complete the following conditions. You would have to pay a $500 fine plus any surcharges and court fees. You have to complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit 501c agency. You may do so at any nonprofit organization as long as it's not a school and not a church. You must complete a risk reduction program and submit yourself to an alcohol and drug evaluation. And if the provider recommends any kind of treatment or counseling, you must submit yourself accordingly. All right. The probation officer will have a victim impact panel, which you would have to sit down and observe as well. All right.
Okay.
With regards to the possession of an open alcohol container, it is a $200 fine.
Okay.
If you, any issues with non-reporting, Ms. Githia?
No, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Cochran, if you complete all the conditions of your sentence with regards to the DUI and the possession of open alcohol container, then upon your probation officer confirming that all conditions have been completed, your probation will be non-reporting.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Cochran?
No, I've already done all the items.
Okay. So so if you've completed the risk reduction, alcohol and drug evaluation, I don't know if you've observed the victim impact panel yet.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
We've completed one of those too.
All right. So at your probation visit next week, if you show proof of all those completions, then they will just check mark off the box, and that leaves you with the fine. If that's also been done, then your probation will be non-reporting.
Judge, when would Mr. Cochran and how would he pay the fine?
He will pay the fine directly to the probation officer,
Probation.
or he can come down tomorrow and pay it at the Traffic Violation Bureau or the State Court Registry.
But he has
Excuse
the
me, State
option.
Court Treasurer. But you have to come down to the clerk's office, get an invoice, then go there. Because all this has to be updated on the system.
Personal check or,
You know, everybody asks me that and I'm never sure.
They,
So,
from a historical standpoint, Judge, they'll take my check, but not his check. That's treasurer's, or they'll take credit cards.
you take credit cards, that much I do know. Check the processing fee. Can he pay online?
yeah,
If that's an option, he'd be happy to do that.
yeah.
Okay,
Because when they finish with court, they still have to put the information in so it can transfer to treasury.
Right, you gotta wait for it to show up.
10 o'clock.
Last question, he will have to surrender his driver's license?
Yes,
Has he done
and
so?
we're asking for a certificate of first conviction.
All right.
You got your license?
Yeah.
Need your driver's license. Is it?
But I know.
Just to head things off, I have Mr. Cochran's license. I'm happy to give it to whoever.
Yeah, you will surrender it and we will be, we need to fill out the information for the revocation and here's the first affidavit of first conviction.
Yes, ma'am. And so we can, since we're here and to avoid any problems down the road, Mr. Dunbar, I can say a little bit about him, can I?
Certainly.
He's a different man now than he was when I met him a couple of years ago. I can say that. I've had a little interaction. We know a couple of people in common. And he's in ongoing counseling. It really sort of amounts to other issues, but he was abusing alcohol and that's what brought it out. And now he understands that alcohol is basically a poison. If you want to hear directly from him, I'm happy to have him do that. But Dr. Dunbar's recommendation was that he have testing as a treatment, so to speak. This was done, the evaluation was done in May of 2021.
Mhm.
And later that year, he started counseling with Lisa Saccarellis,
Okay,
and has been seeing her every other week, actually, ever since. And what I would propose is that the court authorize probation to allow him to continue that counseling in lieu of the testing.
Ms. Gathia, did you hear that part?
I heard some of that, Your Honor. It's in Miss, I can't pronounce the name. Yes.
Lisa Saccarellis, is that
Yes.
correct?
Secularis.
Saccarellis, right. So this is what, she is qualified to give a report that she has done an evaluation and that he's continuing treatment with her, and that's something that he can provide to probation.
Yes.
Great. We can approach it from that direction, and then you'll share that with probation.
Because all she needs to do is just write a letter that she has been seeing you since when, and that you've been a continuous patient with her. And that that would satisfy the alcohol and drug evaluation
Okay,
component. And if there isn't, call Mr. Childress, and then I'm sure he'll know who to call. Okay? All right. Anything else, Mr. Childress?
Do I need to leave
Affidavit.
copies of any of the
I'm sorry.
forms, the proof, the DUI class or the victim impact?
Those need to be
All those-
submitted to probation,
Probation,
correct?
okay.
They're going to be the ones to check mark the box. And as long as they're satisfied, then his probation will be non-reporting.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Childress. Mr. Cochran,
thank you.
and I applaud your compliance with Dr. Saccarellis. It's a huge commendation to continue with the program. All right, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, position number 2 has been reset to October 5th. Position number 3, Arthur Mullenix. Arthur
Good afternoon,
Mullenix.
Judge. He's
Yes.
on the author's phone.
All right, and Mr. Booker, what are we doing with your client's case?
Judge, yesterday we gave the state a bunch of stuff in mitigation. We don't have it completely worked out yet. I don't know if the court would consider setting it for one more final plea calendar, and if not, I guess you just, with your discretion, put it on the trial calendar. I do anticipate it's going to resolve, but there's some things they're going to at least look at based on our conversation yesterday before I think they make a final decision on what we're going to do with this.
Will I be hearing the same thing on October 5th, or do you
You
think?
will, no,
Okay.
Judge, you will not.
All right, on October 5th is reset for a final plea,
Thank you, Judge.
and it's going to be at 1:30 PM and it's in person. not
Okay.
Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Booker. Mr. Mullenix, you're free to go.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Position number 4, Mohammed Hamza Sohani. Trial counsel has filed a medical leave of absence. So that case is going to be reset to October 5th at 1:30 PM. And position number 5, that's also reset to October 5th. And
Use this as your address.
the show cause is going to be a plea in absentia.
Yes, okay.
I think that concludes our calendar. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about the technical hiccup, we have more wires than anything else I know, but all right, folks, y'all have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.